G'day, you're listening to Queer Tasmania, Queer Tasmania,
Queer Tasmania, Queer Tasmania,
with Gary Wakefield, not Gary Snow.
Welcome back to Queer Tasmania. Before we get into today's episode, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that we're dropping this episode on Wear It Purple Day. Wear It Purple Day is a day to empower LGBTIQA plus youth to dream big and share. By wearing purple, we can demonstrate to young queer people that they are celebrated and respected, acknowledging that they have the right to be proud of who they are and who they are becoming. If you're listening to this Friday morning, put on your purple and show your respect for queer youth today. This episode contains a couple of different interviews and some information about upcoming events in September and a little bit in October. We reached out to a bunch of different LGBTIQA plus social groups and organisers to get some updates, and we've got a couple. It was kind of last minute, so I apologise to anyone listening that didn't get a chance to submit. But hopefully next month we'll have some more details for events coming up in October and November. So please stay tuned for that. But first, recently I caught up with Phoebe and Shan to talk about New Norfunk and King Karaoke, and here's what they had to say.
I'm Phoebe Adams, also known as Barry Bothways, the drag king and father of many little drag kings, queens and in-betweens. And I also curate the Artfully Queer exhibition and help produce New Norfunk and Karaoke.
Oh, just get the measuring tape out, buddy. I'm Shan Hooper. I am also known as Gary Snow. I have no drag babies. I'm the uncle. And I guess I'm the resident graphic designer for all of Phoebe's accolades. Yeah, and musician, singer-songwriter, soon to be a poetry person. I said yes to Panic later. Yeah, we'll give anything a go, pretty much, won't we?
Yeah, at least twice.
At least, yeah.
It sounds like you're a dynamic duo. How long have you two been doing stuff together?
Drag, we've been doing 3 years. Although Phoebe's been after me for about 10 to do drag.
Yeah, took 7 years to wear them down.
Yeah. But we've worked collaborative on a few art pieces before
Visual art
that.
projects, yeah, mostly. Won some prizes together.
We have.
Won the Unifying Voice prize together for Artfully Queer one year. That was good.
That was fun.
So, yeah, we're just sort of like a little creative duo and, yeah, whatever's going, really.
Yeah, and whatever Phoebe's skill sets sort of complement mine and whatever mine are lacking in and then whatever I've got good complements Phoebe's. We're very lucky.
Yeah, it sounds like you work really well together. And so you're here today to talk about New Norfunk, is that right?
Yeah, that's our baby.
Yeah, New Norfunk, and probably a little word about King Karaoke as
That's
well.
also our other baby, our other child.
Thought you didn't have babies. Shh. You have project babies, don't you? You don't have little drag king and queen babies.
I get too busy with the hyper focus to produce children.
That's right, Uncle Gary.
Yeah, I can relate. It must be a Gary thing.
Yeah, you'd understand, don't you? Except I've only got one you've got two.
I do have two. So tell me about New Norfunk. How long has it been going? When is the next one? What is it?
Okay, so New Norfunk started on May the 1st, 22, by Andy Giorgio.
Gorgeous Andy. He's not with us anymore, unfortunately.
No, he passed away, and his partner Ray, they got it started. They approached the Derwent Valley Council alongside the wonderful mayor up there, Michelle Jacoulis, and they got the first one going, and which we were very privileged as little green kings. I was a green king to perform at.
Yeah, Andy actually approached us about forming, or me and Dick Swagger, Jojo, about forming a little boy band for Wigmania they had on at the time, do a drag show, and then we came up with this concept of having 4 drag kings performing to backdoor Backstreet Boys, sorry. We called ourselves the Backdoor Boys, but the Backstreet Boys medley and stuff, which we performed at the Wigmania and also at New Norfunk. Then New Norfunk's important though because it's not in Hobart. It's in an outer suburb or regional area. It's in the Derwent Valley, so not many queer things were really happening.
They weren't.
And at all there at that time. So Andy and Ray really broke some new ground, and there's been a lot of positive benefits have spun out of these engagements in the New Norfolk community through New Norfunk. And it's thanks to Andy and Ray to begin with, but we've just taken the torch and...
Yeah, they kind of, at first moved on to other projects, and then, Andy is no longer with us, and... I don't know, we kind of just ran with it, didn't we?
We did, because it was such a great feeling to do this show. It's actually, New Norfunk is an amazing venue. It's in the Welcome Swallow Brewery, which is an indoor beer garden, which is beautiful. And the crowd that we get mixed, so it's queer people and local people and all mixed genders, sexualities, ages. Probably no one under 18 for the New Norfunk one. But in karaoke, certainly we get kids, but New Norfunk is strictly 18 plus because drag kings and queens and in-betweens can be,
rude,
a little potty mouths at times. So, so we decided to take that on, and it has turned into, a great mingling opportunity for people in New Norfolk and surrounds and Hobart, but it's also, I think it's helped foster a lot of drag performers by giving another opportunity, a place to perform. And we've been able to combine drag performance with other contacts that have been around in the queer community for a while, like Beck Collins' Diamond Studios now comes and does some pole dancing. We have burlesque performers.
Comedy.
Yep.
And we have a DJ for dancing.
Yeah. So, and it raises a little bit of money for Tas Pride, which is awesome as well.
Yeah, they always support us fully, so that's really nice to be able to contribute back to them.
Yeah, and this falls under their kind of scope of activity, so bringing people together and celebrating our queerness and our queer culture in a inclusive space.
In what probably wasn't considered an inclusive space originally.
No. So we've probably gone and Karen Drysdale, we're working. Funnily enough, another story, we've just been approved to have an academic paper published. We're working with Karen Drysdale from the University of New South Wales. She was talking about how this inclusive kind of crowd that we get, and I think she called it, was it some sort of social activism? So that means you're creating a better environment for queer people by going into a non-queer environment and queering it somehow, and getting people to mix together and exposing people to queer culture in a positive way.
Yeah, which is something she has said is very unique to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting. That sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, we're making drag very mainstream, more so than the other capital cities around Australia.
Yeah, I think drag queens have been mainstream for a while. RuPaul's Drag Race and the Hens Nights that stop at the Imperial Hotel and that have been for decades. Those sorts of things. That's been sort of mainstream mingling. But this is in an unexpected country brewery, and I think that's the difference. It's in a venue that's being queered. It's not a queer venue, but what we're doing in our presence is queering that venue.
And it's working amazingly. We've actually had zero conflicts and issues with anybody.
If anything, it's created a really good opportunity for local people who are heteronormative to be able to have a chat with people that are different, and that is a really, when we all work out we're all humans, and
ask the taboo questions.
Sometimes they ask questions, don't they? Sometimes those questions can be a little awkward, but I
love the awkward ones.
But they're always asked sincerely. There's no, I've never felt unsafe.
No.
With the folks there. They're just genuinely interested to ask questions about various things. But you can always say, I'm really not comfortable to answer that question.
Yeah, they want to do better.
They do respect. But, I think the interacting between the communities is something that I think is probably the most valuable.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned it's a good opportunity for green or new drag performers to have another place to perform. How have you seen people grow over the years that you've been doing these events?
Oh, people have grown phenomenally. It's actually one of those events that I think a lot of the performers want in on, to be honest. And unfortunately, we're kind of getting to the stage where we just can't have everybody. Our first thing that we look at is who is from the northern suburbs and beyond. That is a performer. They usually get first dibs, because then they're performing in front of their peer group that probably don't normally make it down into the city. But I think it's also really nice to have an event that we're including different styles of performance, like burlesque and pole performances.
There's even been some crossovers which have been fantastic. We had drag king performances done by pole dancers together on a pole, which was that's pole dancing drag kings. Now they're not the first to do it. Damo actually jumped up on a pole at a performance at Artfully Queer one year. It was probably the first one here in Tassie to do that. But it's just really interesting to see pole performers that otherwise wouldn't be doing drag having a go at it and just nailing it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's nothing like a pair of socks down your jogs.
On a pole. Anyway, yeah,
well,
so
it will stop things getting squished.
it's been some great cross-germination. I mean, in saying that, there's also, there are other opportunities for drag performers to perform that are green here in Hobart. There's QT Cabaret as well. Hera Fox runs that one beautifully.
It's been going for 7 years.
That one performers are preferenced if they're transgender, then non-binary, and then queer, and then go down the line. So
Don't go down the line of the alphabet.
yeah. Only because the QT Cabaret was formed to provide an opportunity for trans folk to perform. So of course that has to be top of the list. Just like in New Norfolk, when we do New Norfunk, we're going to look at the Derwent Valley locals first on our list before we look at other people.
Yeah.
And if we moved it to another town, we would probably do the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd like to think would do that too.
Yeah, because it would be nice one day to share the magic with other towns in Tasmania.
That was my next question. Are you planning on spreading the love to more northern areas? I'm quite partial to the northwest, being up here.
We've absolutely got plans and intentions to get there. We're kind of leaning towards doing maybe a King karaoke first, so people get to know Barry and Gary.
We'll send King Karaoke out as a bit of a probe, a little probe into Bernie and...
Yeah, and there's a little less of a production. But then we've got, absolutely intent to do some kind of drag event
in the north
and
somewhere.
further south as well.
Yeah, the only issue being if you're doing King Karaoke, it's just the two of us, and my dad lives up that way, so there's accommodation. But if you've got, how many people do we have?
We've got 15 different performances.
15 different performances coming up in October. So if we had move 15 performers, that's a lot of accommodation and transport, and there's all those things you need to consider. So that's the other reason, till we figure out how to work that out. And it might be we need to hook in with more of the local, and we understand that local drag performers up north, and maybe foster some more drag performers up north, which we should talk to you about.
A lot of them just moved down.
Well, yeah, a lot of them just have moved down, which is like, oh dear. But I believe Artfully Queer Digital Edition, which is coming out really soon, is doing an online drag workshop. So anyone in Tasmania could join that online workshop, which means you could be a drag performer in Burnie, do the workshop, and then perform at one of our events in the future. We're just trying to figure out whether how to do that, how to go about it.
Plus, in between full-time jobs and
and all the other things that we do.
All the other things of life.
So, but in all my years of queer activism, I think the biggest buzz I get is when we're actually going into a community and encouraging queer people and non-queer people to mix, mingle, form friendships and bonds. It makes everybody feel safer. It makes the world safer for new and young queers as well when we outreach like that. And it just feels nice to not be necessarily preaching to the converted all the time.
Yeah, we try not to do much preaching.
In saying preaching, we don't actually do that. We just go and entertain people, make them laugh, demystify ourselves and our culture, and hopefully get them thinking about the trueness or the innateness of binary gender in the process. So, trying to open people's minds up.
And I think, in particular with the karaoke, I think we both agree that we really enjoy allowing people to have the spotlight themselves as well, for instead of the bathroom or the car or whatever, and getting up and singing passionately, not perfectionate.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the karaoke stuff that we do is the audience can be a performer spontaneously at any time.
Yeah.
And when people perform together, there's like a bonding that happens. So could be, when we get, what sort of ages do we get? We get
The youngest we've had on the mic is a 4-year-old.
Through to probably someone in their 80s.
Yep.
And all walks of life. So you've got all these walks of life, singing, bonding, getting dopamine hits together, because performing is very, very good dopamine hit.
Don't do drugs, kids. Just do performance.
Do performance. It's much better for you.
Yeah. So tell me about the next New Norfolk coming up in October.
Yep, so the 12th of October, we have our 6th edition, I believe. If it's not the 6th, it's the 7th. We're doing a Saturday night this time. Normally it's on a Sunday, but occasionally we like to chuck a Saturday night in there. We're going 4 till 10 p.m. We're doing 15 different performances. We have just had Kinetic come on board with a really generous price, so we can get the Sky Bus with the giant rainbow from Hobart up to the valley and back safely. It's also all access, so people with wheelchairs can come along.
Yeah, so the idea is for those people in Hobart that want to go out and have a couple of the lovely beers that the brewery produce and drive safely, they don't have to drive at all. They can get in our bus and Kinetic's bus and come up for a minimal fee. I don't know, we've worked out it would be like...
We're looking at about $15 return.
Yeah, which is nothing. So a bus to take you there and a bus to take you home at the end. Well, not to your house, but to Hobart. And then you can get an Uber. But
there's no Ubers in the valley, so...
there's no Ubers and there's just grumpy taxi drivers there.
It's like Hotel California. Once you get there, you can't
can never leave. But yeah, so it's going to be a transport option to bring more people into what is a really great event.
And we're probably going to put a comedian or someone on the bus to entertain them along the Lyle.
Either a drag performer, a comedian, or someone that is both.
Or someone that just can talk the ears off of people.
Yeah, entertain you. So you get entertainment as well on the bus. So that will be fun. That's a new thing for us, and it's only because Kinetic are being very generous and supporting us, because they know that this is also a Tas Pride fundraiser, and they want to support our queer community here in Tasmania.
Yeah, and it's a personal goal of mine to make every New Norfunk just a little bit different, and a little bit more, I don't know, I don't want to say better, but unique to the one before. You learn the machine the more you do it. Like, I hadn't organised any of these events before doing drag.
Yeah, so we've actually learnt production skills along the way as well, which has been great. We're even learning how to use mixing desks, and
I just thought I was putting socks down my jog. And here I am, learning all these different aspects of myself. It's really nice.
Drag and performance is a great. It's great. So if anyone is interested in getting involved in a bit of drag performance, it's very good for you. The Artfully Queer workshops will be coming up soon, so just like or follow Tas Pride on your socials, and you're bound to get a notification, or even better, become a member of Tas Pride and you'll get a little email in your email box. So yeah, Artfully Queer digital edition's going to have lots of... We might have to talk about that another time, Gary. Yeah, so we'll talk about that then. But if you want to get involved in drag, there's absolutely opportunities to do so. Tasmania's a great place to be a drag performer.
I think so.
Me too.
So if people want more info or tickets for New Norfunk, where can they go?
Okay, so they are best to probably, again, jump on the Tas Pride places, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, or follow the Backdoor Boys on Instagram.
You better spell that out, because you don't want to just type Backdoor Boys into your Instagram.
Okay, it's boys with a Z .drag kings.
Yep. Or Barry both ways.
Or Gary Snow.
With one R.
with one R, not two.
He was a bit lazy. He couldn't be bothered writing an R.
I lost concentration. Work smarter, not harder.
Did you want to know a little bit about who's going to be performing in the next New Norfunk?
Yeah, please.
Well, we've got 3 out of the 4 finalists of the duties.
3 out of the 4 finalists for judge duties, which is happening on this weekend.
So we've got
a 3 in 4 chance of having one of the actual winner of judge duties performing.
And if you don't get them, I'm sorry, we're stuffed up.
We've got Exquisite.
So we've got Exquisite, who is our local queen up in the valley. I think we gave them their first ever gig.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. And they've just been smashing it ever since.
Nailing it.
We've got Val Morgan. We've got Zelda.
Zelda, I think, has got Valley connections as well. Zelda Esmeralda. Yep.
We've got Rosa Rita helping us host this time, so we don't
misbehave too much.
Yeah, keep us in line. Who else? We've got 3 pole performances from the Diamonds. So we've got BB Sparkle and we've got Marguerite, and we've got us, the Backdoor Boys. We've got Teddy Ryder. We've got Lana Blue, the burlesque performer. We've got April, May, June. We've got Lily Double Chin. Doing some magic. And I'm sure comedy amongst all of that.
DJ Twigon will
we've
be
got,
the DJ.
You know who we've got, who I'm excited about. We've got Aphrodisiac.
Oh, yes.
And we've got Sandy Lagore, the godmother queen.
Yeah, the first. The first drag queen.
Yeah.
In Tasmania that we know of, and that was performing in a queer venue.
Amazing. What a fantastic lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've forgotten people.
If we have, I'm sorry, we both have ADHD, so and we of course didn't bring a list of performers with us because we like to improv off the top of our heads, don't we?
We arrived.
We got here. It's okay. Out of the chaos comes some good stuff. So I hope we didn't forget anybody, but that's a massive lineup of some exceptional performers.
We would love to have everybody on there, but it's just not possible.
No, it's just the finances are the issue. We have to raise some money for Tas Pride in the process. So.
Well, I also don't think people like sitting for longer than half an hour.
Yeah, they don't. They want a boogie when they're finished with us. That's the other thing. After these things, everyone wants to have a dance, don't they?
Yep. So
you're in such a good mood, you'll want to have a dance.
And a beverage if you like.
Yeah. Welcome Swallows. We must thank the Welcome Swallow too.
They've been amazing, Nigel and Jodie.
Yeah.
They pretty much let us do whatever we want.
Yeah. And they're so queer friendly.
Absolutely.
They're committed to an inclusive, safe space.
Yep. They are very, very protective of their hearts and because the brewery is their heart, and want everyone to have a really nice time there, and they do it successfully.
Yeah, it's great. It's a beautiful place. Just gorgeous inside. I love the plants. They make me feel really grounded, even though it's noisy or whatever. But there's always a little nook that you can sit privately and talk to someone, or you can go outside and there's a food van going to be happening, isn't there?
Yep.
Did you?
Food
van.
We've got we've got the food van doing a custom menu for us, to the point actually that if we have any people with dietary needs and specifically are vegan, we will. They're quite happy for those people to contact them, and they would like to support their dietary needs, really. And I'm going to look up the name.
But they've thought of some names for the food.
We thought of them.
Sorry, you thought of them. Shan thought of some names for the food.
Like a bang me.
Instead of a bun me.
And a dick in a bun.
And a Barry burger. Barry Both Ways burger.
Yeah.
It should be the big Barry Both Ways burger.
Or the Studley.
What's that?
That's the sandwich.
Anyway, there'll be a funny custom menu, which will be fun.
Sounds incredible.
Find the business name right now, but we'll put that all in the links. That we're gonna go live with that this week. Actually,
yep.
We just had to have a few more things.
And if it's cold, they've got a lovely fire inside and a lovely fire outside as well.
So, before that, you've got King Karaoke happening in September. Tell me about that. Where is that happening?
All right, so King Karaoke is also happening at the Welcome Swallow because I live in the valley, so I love it. I just roll 7 minutes down the road. It's great. So that is on the 14th of September. It's between mine and Barry's birthdays. So we're going to do it as a bit of a birthday bash and gather everybody. Our biggest thing is that we don't want people to be perfect. We're not pushing the perfection singer. In fact, we always do the first track and we deliberately do it terrible.
Well, for a start, we try and sing it in a lower octave to what we're used to.
Yeah, the boys can't actually sing.
Yeah, because if you're singing outside your normal range, you're not going to be able to sing really well anyway. But it doesn't matter because what we don't have in talent at a lower octave, we have in
hip thrusting
and passion. Yes.
And so it also makes people go, oh, the bar is so low.
Yeah,
oh, I can do that. And
there's a power in overcoming your fears and performing. I think from my conversations with people is they are frightened that it's an ego thing, that people will think that they're kind of like wanting to draw attention to themselves or whatever. That there's a lot of that involved, and I've explained it to people often. If you're performing for other people, you're actually being generous. You're actually giving entertainment, laughter and fun to other people or making them cry or whatever. It's actually a very generous thing to do, to perform for other people. It's not about ego. It's about sharing with your community. And often that gets people up off their bums and into a song. So that little pep talk.
Yeah, and we try and dance for every single performer. We certainly introduce them with as much enthusiasm as we've got. I will say at the hour of 4 hour we're starting to run out of steam.
If someone's struggling, we'll get on there and give them a bit of backing vocal help.
Yeah.
Or distract. Because the idea is that people get up and have a go and they've already won. So, it's lovely to see other people being able to shine and go away feeling happy.
Yeah, in fact, I had one of our local people that come along to them quite regularly run up to me recently going, I was up north and they had this karaoke thing and there was no one in the bar and I sang for an hour and a half just doing her own karaoke, to the point that there's someone else in the venue was like, do you want to come and sing at my pub?
That's cute. I like doing things that gives people the confidence to go out on their own and do it.
Yeah, she couldn't talk for 4 days after, but
she sung her heart out.
She did. She blew her voice out.
Good on her. Yeah, that's what we like to see.
Yeah, it makes us smile when we know that we're just in it for the joy. We want to bring joy for other people, and I mean, hanging out with one of my best mates every time is also fun, and we always have fun in a padded room. You know, like we always make each other laugh, and being able to share that and, I don't know, in an infectious way, like, you know, passing it forward kind of way, is really, really nice.
Yeah, and create a space where people can challenge themselves and feel confident to get up there and give it a go.
Yeah, to the point that next year we're actually going to run a New Norfolk Talent.
Yes, yeah, that's another plan we've got going on, is a talent show for New Norfolk, because there's a lot of really talented folk in that town.
There are, yep.
And in the valley itself, lots of talented singers and performers for sure. So yeah, come to karaoke on the 14th of September,
6:30 to 10 p.m.
New Norfolk. It's
a free event.
We do it for next nothing.
We want families to be able to come along and not feel like they have to budget for 4 or 5 people or whatever. So, and being able to actually share an event like that with kids is really fun. Like the 4-year-old that got up, he didn't sing a word, but he had a smile on his face the whole time.
He was just happy to stand there and hold that microphone, wasn't he? Yep.
It was the best night of his life.
Yeah. So the kids are cute. They all tend to go home at about 9-ish.
8:39, and then we let them sing.
And then we let the naughty songs come out after the kids have gone home.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it. So thank you both for coming on and sharing and talking today. I can definitely hear the passion in both of your voices about giving back to community and creating a space where people can practice and thrive and become better versions of themselves. And that definitely comes through in the way you talk about what you do. And as a community member, I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you both. So thank you.
Thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah.
And letting people share their stories. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you have to go on the queer story sometime, Shan. I've done it. It's your turn next. Thank you so much, Gary.
New Norfunk and King Karaoke both sound amazing. We will put some links and information in our episode notes, so make sure you check there. A little bit later on, I also caught up with Phoebe again to discuss Artfully Queer with co-curator Luke.
I'm Phoebe Adams. I'm also Barry both ways, but I'm talking today in my capacity as the curator of Artfully Queer, although in this case I wouldn't call it curating, I'd call it facilitating. And I'm here with my co-facilitator.
Hi, I'm Luke. I perform as Lilian Double Chin, the drag queen. And yeah, I'm facilitating with Barry both ways, or Phoebe here.
And the reason I say facilitating is because the major part of this digital edition of Artfully Queer is a series of workshops, of online workshops, whereas usually our focus is on the 3-week exhibition and arts program we have at the Long Gallery at the Salamanca Arts Centre, which we will be having again in October 2025. But we got some lovely funding from Clarence City Council, so we could put on these online workshops for people all around Tasmania, and we will be doing a big showcase of the projects that come out in April at the Rosny Barn.
We are always very thankful of the funding that comes from Clarence City Council and their support of this program and their support of queer arts in general.
It sounds amazing. So when does the program kick off?
Well, we're kicking off, it'll be in September.
Late September.
Late September with the start of our workshops, and we have a lot of really amazing workshops planned. We've got our usual drag workshop, but with a little bit of a twist this year.
Yes, it's fully online. Every time we have our drag workshops as part of Artfully Queer at the Long Gallery, we always get people from all over Tassie pretty sad because they can't join in because it's too far to come, because we have it over 3 or 4 weekends. Whereas now people are going to be able to do it online, so they can do it from anywhere in Tassie, in their lounge room or wherever they want to.
Yeah.
It's going to be so accessible through this project, which is great.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about, making sure that people can get up the stairs at the Long Gallery or anything like that. We are very much going for full accessibility this year, and in the fact that we are the deliverable this year, which usually is a performance, because I did it a couple of years ago. Barry is technically my drag dad. And yeah, sitting here with dad. So it is this year, instead of a performance, we are actually doing a music video as a deliverable, which we are going to show at Rosny Barn when we're there early on in next year, which I think is a really great opportunity to showcase drag in different forms. For me, as a drag performer, drag is not just getting up and lip syncing. It's so much more than that. For me, I also I host poetry, and I do comedy, and I do art pieces which are shown in galleries about myself and about drag and about the power of drag and gender expression. So I think it is really important to be able to show that you can deliver drag in different means and different modes, and really showcase that we can kind of do things a little bit differently.
Yeah. So the first drag workshop we call Part 1, and that's just the developing a character, working out what your look is. So makeup, costumes, props. We'll cover things like professionalism. Pussy Poppins is pretty stern on that one, like turning up on time to a performance, and how to do your invoicing to whoever you're performing for. Those sorts of questions. And also we cover what is drag and the history of drag in Tasmania that we know.
And history of drag does kind of seem like it's going to be the boring part, but from when I did it, for me, that was the most fascinating part. Yeah. Because Phoebe's got a huge background in the research of drag, and soon to publish an article about drag.
Yeah, there's a paper coming out.
Out about drag.
Rutledge. We worked with Karen Drysdale from the University of New South Wales. That was Sophie, Keegan, Shan Hooper and myself, Phoebe Adams. So we're co-publishing a paper about drag kings in Tasmania.
So yeah, the history of drag itself really kind of solidifies it as a art form, and really kind of grounds in the performer what drag is. But also for me, I found like it definitely was kind of like, instead of just being like, oh, drag is just RuPaul, it's really kind of being like, oh, there's this huge history and people that came before me that I can honour, but I can also express what they were trying to show through my art form as well. So I would do it again just for the history of drag talk.
Yeah, so that's part one. And then, as Luke mentioned, traditionally we would do a showcase on the final night, and people would go into the long gallery and watch people's performances. But in this case, because we're online, the obvious method was to have some form of music clip. So whether they're actually a singer and want to sing themselves, or whether they're lip syncing, doesn't really matter. But they'll be doing part 2 of the drag shop workshop. Will be about developing that video. And the great thing about that workshop is current drag performers that don't need to do the beginners workshop will be jumping in at that point to participate in the fun of making these crazy videos.
Yeah, and for music videos themselves, because I have a background in film and TV, and that's where I come into this. I think it's a really different way to kind of express, because there's things like TikTok and a bunch of other kind of mediums which really are promoting drag performers these days. But at the same time, you can just do a performance like you would do on a stage to a backing track, or you can get really different and really experimental and make something that's quite an ode to a music video as if you were the singer. But also, it could also be a short film-esque and an art piece and fine art. It really is up to the individual how they take it and how they create and how they kind of express themselves. Yeah,
and I think that this part 2 being a music video that you can do yourself, sometimes we get the odd performer that comes to the workshop but does not want to get on the stage at the end of it. And that's absolutely fine. People do things for their own reasons, and if you don't want to perform, you don't have to. But I think in this case it will be a lot easier for some of those people that didn't want to perform in front of an audience to be able to just create something that an audience will see that they're not necessarily having that direct feedback with. So I think for a lot of people this will be a more comfortable experience, whereas for others it's not going to be as comfortable, because I know as a performer I really thrive on that feedback I'm getting from the audience to know where it's going. But I guess in a music video I'm not going to be too worried about that. But it's going to be great fun, and it's really great to try something that can be statewide.
Yeah, I really can't wait for the Backdoor Boys AC/DC video that I will be pushing for.
So that's one lot of workshops, but there's also going to be a general short film workshop.
Yep.
Which is your baby?
Yeah, so I'll be running a short film workshop. I have a background as trained in film and TV, and have worked on everything from music videos, short films, feature film, and all the rest of it in a variety of different roles. And I found when I came down to Tassie, and I'm from here, but, left and came back, but that especially with, different places who facilitated the arts shutting down in that field, we didn't really have anywhere where people could just kind of learn the basics of filmmaking, and as well as people kind of getting together and kind of be like, hey, you want to do this, because it's hard to make a film by yourself. It really is. It's not impossible, but it is quite difficult. So, it really is not just giving people the basics so that they can let their creativity go wild, but also at the same time facilitating the creation of community.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So the short film course will be a really great opportunity for anybody, any age, to get involved in that, and we will then showcase those films at the Rosny Barn showcase, and also all of these things that we're creating will also be put on the TasPride website, and we'll also show them at the next Artfully Queer in the Long Gallery as well. So the idea behind this also was to try and encourage artists to have a look at playing with digital media. So what people that hadn't already gone into it might be an opportunity for them to try a different form of creativity and storytelling.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the more I know as a mixed media kind of creator, and you're the same, you work across a lot of different mediums, Phoebe, that you get a lot of inspiration from a lot of the different stuff that you do to create different stuff. So for me, very much like something I might do in comedy that may inspire a drag act, that then inspires a poem, which then inspires a short story, which then inspires a painting for an art gallery. But also the inspiration from seeing all the people work in these different mediums very much comes together to inspire different pieces in different areas. And for me, I'm a big proponent of working across mediums, but also interacting with people from across mediums and facilitating the creation of relationships across mediums so that people can really talk to each other and have this community of artists, and especially Artfully Queer. I know with Phoebe curating has been this amazing vehicle of this community of artists and creating that community of people who can get together and create art that expresses themselves, that shows who they are, shows their identity, and also shows community that we're here and we're proud and we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, well, this is a really great opportunity for collaboration between artists, because during the workshop, probably have to help each other out with acting or filming, or some people might want to collaborate. That's fine. They've got their own friends or whatever, but there are going to be opportunities for that.
There's always someone that has to hold a boom mic.
I used to teach digital multimedia back when they called it multimedia, back in the days of CD-ROMs and things like that. And,
What's a CD, Dad?
Yeah, here you go. But I remember filmmaking was quite difficult, because to get the cameras you needed to get something as a decent quality was hard to do. Sound recording, you had to have the gear. But you know what? We carry the gear now, and the stuff we've got in our pocket and our smartphone, that's better than some of the stuff we were using to make films back when I was in the dinosaur era. So this is the beautiful thing about these workshops. They're going to be around apps and things that you can get and use on your phone that are either free or very, very small costs, and that you can use your own equipment too. We'll have some talk about sound and stuff, but I mean, you could just go off your camera if you wanted to and use an app on the phone to edit the video. So
there's a couple of really amazing film festivals across the world every year which say, hey, you've got X amount of time, here's an item, you need to film it on your phones. Full stop. You film it on your phones. And I've been able to participate in a couple of really amazing pieces that have shown in those festivals where all we have used is a sound. I'll admit we used a sound kit and a few lights, but we shot it all on a phone.
Yeah, and you can. And but there's more to shooting a film than just I've got my phone and I'm filming. So we're hoping that this workshop will help you be able to create a short film in a way that's going to be organised, that's going to have punch, that's going to be viewable. Because just watching a video of people doing stuff, I don't know. You need to have a bit of a story, don't you?
You do, and there are different ways.
Or a plan.
There's different ways to tell story through shots and angles and editing, and mise en scène and all the different how you place things in a scene and how you move things through a scene and how you move a camera and all the rest of it, and just knowing kind of the same as learning that how when you're in primary school of how to put paint on a canvas. This very much is a lot the same of giving people kind of the idea of what you can do and how to do it so that they can go out there and use their own creativity and the tools and techniques that they've learned to create pieces which hopefully go somewhere and inspire people and do amazing things.
Yeah, so that's an opportunity for learning with the film one. And another one we're going to try doing is a digital illustration workshop with Shan Hooper, who does a lot of the digital imagery for a lot of the queer events. Tas Pride used them. Judy's have used them.
Yep, even the swim club has used them.
Yeah.
New Norfunk, of course, everything, yeah.
And I don't know, most people should be aware, we have a drawing app developer here in Hobart called Procreate.
Yep.
If you're listening, we'd love a sponsorship. But anyway, Shan's going to be teaching on Procreate. We've chosen that, even though it's only on Apple phones, not Apple phones even, there's a shortened version of Apple phones, but for iPads, because that's what Shan uses. It's a local product and it's a very good product and it's really cheap. I think it's like $15 or $20 to download that very good app on your iPad. So I'm sorry that we're not doing other devices at this point. Hopefully Procreate will move into other devices, but we really wanted to support a local app developer as well.
At the same time, I know, having used Procreate before myself, a lot of the skills that are used through that are very much able to be transferred across to other illustration programs,
Absolutely,
like your Adobe Suite and everything else like that.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is all a big experiment for us, this digital edition. It was born out of, we missed a booking at the Long Gallery and thought, well, we could either do nothing and waste an opportunity or we'll try something else that's different. And I think I'm really glad that booking had a problem, because this is a very exciting new way of getting people involved in creating. And I just love the idea that with anyone in Tasmania, no matter where you are, as long as you've got internet
Which is a chunk of Tasmania.
Zoom.
Yep.
And a computer. That's the caveat there.
Or a phone.
Well, you just drive to town and sit outside the Telstra box. I don't know.
24-hour Maccas, not sponsored, but I'll please sponsor me, McDonald's. But,
anywhere you like. So that's the exciting part for me. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, I find the really exciting part really is I know myself having, it doesn't seem like it, a little bit of social anxiety. Going into a space and saying, okay, cool, I'm here for a workshop, really is a bit of a barrier to entry. And I know we do everything we can to facilitate kind of like that away and make it a really welcoming experience and all the rest of it. But at the same time, like, I do understand that sometimes it is difficult just to kind of walk into that space and to be able to give people who have that difficulty the ability to really participate, but participate on their own terms. The great thing about doing it via Zoom, it's very similar to when you video call someone on, Facebook Messenger, but at the same time, you don't have to have your camera on, you don't have to have your mic on. You can just be there, you can be present. I know in my workshops, I'm not going to be calling directly on people unless they put their hand up, unless they say, hey, I want to be called upon. So it's definitely one of those places where you can participate to the degree that you want to participate. And if you need to, take a couple sessions to slowly walk into, having a bit more of a discussion with people, into asking questions, into giving answers, and all the rest of it, like that is the space that we can definitely do that and facilitate this event for a wide variety of people.
Yeah, sounds amazing. Can people register for these workshops already? Is there information online already? Where can people go for more info?
We're just about to, probably by the time this podcast comes out, will definitely be information on the Tas Pride website, www.taspride.com, and also on all the Tas Pride social medias and the Artfully Queer Instagram. All members of Tas Pride will be contacted about the workshops we've got coming up. They'll be running from, I think it might be October now, October through to February.
I think I wrap up my last one and film in February, yeah.
So sort of one workshop after another, sort of 1 day a week, so you can opt in and out of what you're interested in during that time. So it should lead up nicely to the April weekend at Rosny for the film showcase, give people time to put their productions on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I'm more excited than I was when I walked in today.
I'm so excited. Yeah, it's good. It's going to be fun. And one thing I know from this area of media is we'll probably all learn as much from each other as we do from the facilitators. There's a lot of people bring their own skills along into any class, and we'll all be learning for each other. And some people might not even be wanting to learn necessarily. They just might want, like me, to have an excuse to do something. And when you're in a workshop environment, you've got people you can talk about your project with and collaborate with and to be accountable to, so that can help all those ideas that you've been kicking around actually happen. Because it's having the idea and then is actually, let's make it happen. And this would be a real call to arms, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah, there's partly, keeping yourself accountable. If it's like, hey, the same thing like when you're in, high school and you've like, oh, your assignment's due the next week. We don't have set deadlines or anything else like that. People can work at their own pace and there's no, obligatory things they have to do for every workshop. But if it's like, oh, I can come next week and share some ideas, it kind of puts you in that spot where you're thinking about those ideas and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, now I have this idea and I'll write this down. And it's a call to action of some sorts.
And best of all, it's completely free.
Even better. Amazing.
So there's no fees to join any of the workshops at all.
I think the other good thing about what you're doing, it gives people around the state who might not have the opportunity to learn these things, well, not just the opportunity to learn it, but to do it with a queer focus and with that safety of being around other queer people, which I know from living on the Northwest Coast, sometimes it feels like too big a risk to go into those creative or learning spaces because you don't want to appear, too queer. It's too vulnerable. So yeah, I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity for a lot of people. Yeah,
100%. I agree with you. And it really is, especially I find with the creation of art, for me, it's very personal. So, when I'm sharing a piece of myself in the room or on the screen, so to be able to do that is a very vulnerable position. I think that's exactly what you're describing. there very much is you're sharing a part of yourself with your art, and it's hard to do that if you kind of don't know the position of the people around you. But when you're sitting in a space going, everyone here is also queer or you know, a very strong ally or queer adjacent, and I can share myself with them, and not only I'm not going to receive negative feedback because of that, but also they're probably going to understand. And I know understanding goes a long way for people in order to just, you know, help them justify themselves and their own art and all that kind of stuff, but also in helping them feel a little bit less kind of like alone with their own ideas, and helps them kind of really encourage presenting themselves in the form of art.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Just that Artfully Queer will return to its normal format come October 2025.
But at the same time, as much as we're saying that, I think as we go through this process of learning ourselves, we're doing the online workshops and doing the online Artfully Queer, I think it definitely does open us up also in the future to be able to facilitate more events like this as the need arises for the community, in order to kind of make sure there are these accessibility for programs and really develop our thinking and our processes of how we view Artfully Queer.
I don't think Artfully Queer will be the same, actually. It's going to be changed by this. These projects will be shown in there and may encourage other people to get more involved in the digital media realm. I mean, people are doing digital media all the time on their phones.
Yeah.
Little selfie shots and stuff like that.
I love that you call them selfie shots.
I'm an old dinosaur. Yeah. Anyway, so we're very excited about this project. I'm really excited to be working with Luke as well. We haven't worked on a major project like this together. So
no, we haven't. No.
Have we, kid?
No, we haven't, Dad.
Yeah. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this, and I think the community's going to have. Oh, I hope the community has a lot of fun with this. Please get involved, and flex your creative muscles. It's very good for your mental health to express yourself.
Yes,
and
it
to
is.
create and to collaborate with others, and be around others. It's very good for people, and I know there's a lot of people who feel isolated. So if Artfully Queer can be more inclusive in the future, this will be the way we learn how to do it anyway.
Yeah, if we can just make really one person feel a little bit less alone in their thoughts and their ideas and their feelings, that's really just the only goal that we have.
Yeah, we've got to embrace this technology more to help end isolation. Maybe have some more digital workshops that occur as part of Artfully Queer in the future. We don't know, so this is how us finding out, really. Yeah,
this is us learning and us also being very welcoming of feedback from everyone else participating and outside, really just being like, hey, you know, like your feedback is very important. You are very important. TasPride is here to really serve the community.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want to do.
Yeah. With the idea of this year's Artfully Queer being statewide, are there plans to take the displays of the digital art to other places around the state as well?
Yeah, I have been thinking about it. I kind of wanted to find out what we got first, because this is sort of an unknown. What do we have to play with at the end? But because it's a film-based thing, we could showcase it in various cinemas or galleries, or the sky's the limit, really. We're just going to find out what we've got and how we can package that and how we could move it around. Because it's digital, you could take that exhibition anywhere. So, which is different to our long gallery exhibition for most works. Packing them, taking them to Burnie or...
Yeah, we usually need about a small truck if we were to do that normally.
Yeah, it would cost be astronomical.
Yeah.
Whereas digital, you can move it around. But we do intend to have these things that are produced with the creator's consent, of course, on the TasPride website as well. So they'll live there in perpetuity.
Yeah, so, you know, best thing about online is significantly less bubble tape, really.
Yeah, we'll probably have to figure out something like, we need a TasPride Vimeo or YouTube account, and we'll upload things to there.
I love that you think those two things really still exist, yeah.
I have a Vimeo account. My child watches Kid Crack on YouTube. They still exist.
Well, thank you both for coming in and talking about Artfully Queer. It sounds like you've got a really fantastic lineup of workshops coming up. So, yeah, thank you for sharing. And thank you for sharing your enthusiasm. You both sound really excited to be able to share this with community around the state. And, yeah, I can't wait to see what comes out of it. It sounds great.
We're very excited. We think this sort of stuff makes such a big difference in our community, and giving people a chance to have their voices heard, their stories told, and their feelings expressed. You can't go wrong, can you?
Not really, no.
It can only be a strong and good thing.
Exactly, especially with you at the helm and me doing the paperwork behind you.
Don't tell everyone our secrets. Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
So we did get an update from Rod from a informal social group of LGBTIQ+ people, mainly based in southern Tasmania, that do regular social events called friendz. That's friends with a Z, not an S at the end. And they mostly do barbecues and meals at members' homes, local parks, restaurants, and the occasional counter meal in Sandy Bay. Barbecues and things are BYOs. They do weekly coffee mornings in Huonville and Hobart and monthly in New Norfolk. They do fortnightly quiz nights in Hobart on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday each month. And it's been on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, but returning September 11th is their weekly walks. Rod's note to me says that all events are held in safe environments, which allows people to mix with like-minded folks. Not associated with any other organisation. There's no formal membership, no fundraising or politics. It's just a social group for people. Rod also tells me that the group at the moment is mostly older men with a few women attending, but that the group is open to everyone regardless of age, gender or colour. All people are welcome to come along and join in. And for more details, specific dates and any information, get on the mailing list. Reach out to Rod at hobartfriendz, all one word, and remember that's a Z at the end, at gmail.com. Or if you want to get in touch with us, we can pass it on, and we'll put the email address in our episode notes as well. So reach out to Rod if you're in Hobart and interested in joining friendz.
My name is the Mistress of Mayhem, or people call me the Mistress for short. I am from Trivia People Tasmania, and we do lots of entertainment in and around northeast, northwest, and Launceston, even on the Spirit of Tasmania. What we've got, which is the most exciting event for September, is on the 14th of September, starting at 8 p.m. at Kingsway Bar. It's a nightclub called Curious. Curious is a nightclub concept that's been in my head for quite a long time. It is going to be a night where everyone from the LGBTQIA+ community is definitely included. In fact, all of our events for Trivia People Tasmania are inclusive, but it also encourages people from the fetish and kink community, anyone who likes to dress up and feel sexy, to come on out. We want to see all shapes and sizes, all bodies, all the diversity that our island has to offer. At Curious, we want to see all of our sexy people come on out and have meet some other like-minded type of people, and enjoy and celebrate our sexual diversity. We've also got our usual wrap-up of trivia. We've got drag trivia, we've got theme trivia, we've got drag bingo, regular bingo, and bonza bingo, which is like bogan bingo. Visit us on Facebook or Instagram at Trivia People Tasmania.
We also heard from Working It Out, and let's hear what they had to say.
Hello there, this is Chloe from the Working It Out office in Argyle Street, North Hobart. Just giving you an update about the events and activities we've got happening down here across September. Just a heads up, if you want to know any more details, you can always contact us here at on info@workingitout.org.au, or online on our website at www.workingitout.org.au, or even on our Facebook page if you want to know any more details about these events. But across the month of September, we have our in-person gender support group on the Tuesday the 3rd of September, and then we have the Rainbow Carers social group happening on the 5th. And then the 6th, there is also Crafternoons. If you want to come along and bring any knitting or any collaging or any crafting activities, and you want to chat to anybody else for an hour, you're more than welcome to come and do that on the 6th there. And on the 9th, we have Outspace Hobart. And then we also have a Better Lives Intersex support group on Wednesday the 11th. And we have our support group for parents and carers of LGBTIQ children on Monday the 16th. And then we have our online statewide gender group on the 17th. And then we have our Out Together Multicultural LGBTIQA plus group on the Saturday of the 28th of September. So if any of those pique your interest, get in touch with us at info@workingitout.org.au, or even give us a call on 0362311200. All right. Best of luck. Chat soon. Bye.
Hello, lovely people. Joe here, your Launceston Working It Out worker. Here's a quick update of what's happening around Launceston this month. If any of these groups pique your interest, touch base with me via the Working It Out website. So first on the agenda, we have Launceston Pride Games. So this happens every Monday. It's either a focus on board games or video games. So reach out if interested. Then on the first Wednesday of every month, have Deloraine Pride Coffee. Just a local catch-up of Deloraine folk. Chill out and enjoy a cuppa. So we are teaming up with Anglicare to run a youth video games night. So this happens every first Thursday of the month. So touch base. Next on the list, we have our Launceston's Carers group. So this is the first one in Launceston, so we're pretty excited about it. It's going to be happening every second Thursday. So if you're an LGBTIQA+ that cares for someone, please come along to this awesome support group. And then we have another Pride Coffee, this time happening in Launceston. So this occurs every second Wednesday of the month. Come along if keen. All right, and we also have our second Outspace Launceston, which we run alongside with Headspace. So this is a youth group for young people between the ages of 13 to 18. So this happens on the second Thursday of every month. Last but not least, we have our Out in Launceston group. So this is a group of LGBTIQA+ folk, and we catch up once a month and just try and do something random. So I think this time we're going for a walk around Invermay and then stopping somewhere for a coffee. So if that sounds like your thing, again, please reach out. All right, that's all happening on the Working It Out front in Launceston. Looking forward to meeting some awesome new community members and represent. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Kaylee from Working It Out on the Northwest, and here's what's coming up with us in September. Tomorrow we have Wear It Purple Day morning tea in the Working It Out office in Burnie from 10 till 12. We're right in town, so please pop in tomorrow and say hi and get a wristband. We have an Are You OK Day workshop coming up at the end of September, a workshop to help have conversations about mental health and what to do if someone says they are not okay. Details of that event will be online soon, so keep an eye out for that. Also, we have our ongoing youth groups called Outspace in Devonport and Burnie. Devonport is fortnightly on a Thursday and Burnie is monthly on a Friday. These are for young people aged 13 to 17 who identify or are questioning being part of the LGBTIQA+ community. Check out the website for more info on those groups. We also have Gender Group, which is for trans and gender diverse folks over 18, and they meet monthly in Devonport and Burnie. Get in touch with us for more info or check out the website for that one as well. And Working It Out also has Pride Coffee happening across the Northwest and West Coast every month in Burnie, Smithton, Ulverston, Devonport, Queenstown, Rosebery, and Deloraine. So much coffee. All the details for those are on the Working It Out Facebook page. Click on events, or you can check the calendar on the website. So the website for all of those details is workingitout.org.au. And as always, if you want some one-on-one support or want to discuss anything LGBTIQA+ with us, just get in touch. Thank you.
Upcoming events for Northwest Pride in September. In the Northwest, we have a Games Day coming up in Burnie on the 7th of September. That's held right in the CBD at the Working It Out office. And we have our first barbecue of the season happening in Latrobe at Bell's Parade on the 21st of September from 11 a.m. Everyone brings a little bit to share, and we end up with an abundance of food and fun. So I'm really excited about barbecue season coming back for us. It's some of the most popular events that we do. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again after a pretty cold, wet winter. If you want more information, please follow the Northwest Pride Facebook page, or please get in touch. Northwest Pride in the North, we have our monthly 10-pin bowling happening on Sunday the 15th of September in Launceston, and we are working on a couple of other things that are going to be out in September, but they're not finalised enough for me to be able to talk about them on here today. So follow our Northwest Pride Facebook page. We also have a Facebook group for people in the North, NW Pride North, and that's for specific updates in the North. But everything does get posted on the Northwest Pride Facebook page as well. So either way, you will get an update for what's happening in the North. Those are not the only events happening in Tasmania for LGBTIQA plus folk in September, but those are the updates that were sent in or provided to us. So yeah, hopefully next month we'll have a bit more information on upcoming events, but watch this space. Queer Tasmania is a new podcast for us. It is a spin-off to our Queer Life Stories podcast. We want to be able to share as much as we can. Please reach out if you've got an idea for an upcoming episode, or if you'd like to make your own episode and have it featured on the podcast. Please reach out to us. You can send us a message on our Facebook or Instagram page, or you can email wakefield_productions@outlook.com, and we can have a chat about what you'd like to hear or what you'd like to contribute. We also have an option for you to leave a voice message for us, which could be used in an upcoming episode. If you go to memo.fm/Queer Tasmania, you can hit the record button and you can send a message to us that we can download and use on the podcast. So you can just send a message and say hi. You can send a message and share a story. You can tell us about an upcoming event. You can do whatever you like. However you want to interact with us, we would love to hear from you. And thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with us. And we'll be back with a new episode next week. Take care of yourself and each other.